first official job for the Mini X. Customer wants some rocks moved in this area over here. So we've got some big boulders. He's got a trail that he wants kind of cleaned up down there. A lot of these big boulders he wants kind of moved just so it's take the kids with the ATVs through there a little bit more safer. And then more so, he's started to clear up some of this area here, but again, some of these boulders down here he wants moved, and there's some obviously some stumps and stuff like that need to be cleaned up. We'll clean it up as good as we can. There are some large beasts here as well that obviously we won't be able to do anything with, and there's a bit of a ridge line of the rock right there, so there is some bedrock here that we may find that we're not able to do anything with, but basically clean up this area here, and further on down there's another driveway section down below there that he would like to just make a nice little roundabout for a minivan to get around. Yeah, so it's going to be a combination of moving some boulders, moving some dirt, and moving some trees. So it is Sunday evening, just got up here now, so I'm going to probably put maybe an hour or two in trying to get something done, and we'll get a lay of the land, and then we'll go from there. Morning, just gone 7 o'clock. Got the van to the job site here for the weekend, which is going to be really good because I can just stay here and continue working. I could have most out of the days as possible. Anyway, let's give you a little bit of an overview of what's happening. So obviously got to move the van, move the trailer. I got to dig a hole here for a burn pile. We're going to get rid of this, what we think is a beach, potentially. This is dead and falling on potential vehicles that may be around here. I got to get rid of that. Got a little ATV trail that we're going to clean up there. Get rid of a lot of that dead brush back there as well. And we're going to start picking these rocks out and trying to make a more favorable driveway or laneway. They'll go back beside this mini cabin that we've got going on here, and then it will continue around that tree and back into the back section back there, and then wrap around, and then there's another little driveway or lane back that way down there, and then we'll also going to start doing some test holes along here for a septic system, and then also that wasn't enough, I'm gonna clean up this area back in here. Pull a lot of these stumps out. Clean up a lot of the fallen trees, not fallen trees, but the dead trees and the trees that were cut down. I'll clean up a lot of this stuff and take advantage of the burn permit and burn that down and maybe collect up some firewood in the meantime. But, any of the good logs we'll set aside, and any of the other stuff we'll just limb up and get rid of. So, gotta grease up the machine, move some vehicles around so when we drop this tree back here, it doesn't decide to drop on, you know, my vehicle. What the heck is going on with this camera? There we go. Yeah, so anyway, got a coffee on the go. Gonna have that, and yeah, that will be that. We'll get at her. Pitter patter. Got the trailer all moved, machine all greased up. Also tightened up the tracks a little bit to give that you should have between one of the, I think they're idler bars or something like that, or idlers. It's about 3/4 of an inch. And for some reason my gimbal just turned, but anyway, get a nice shot of the machine. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, gonna dig a hole right there. Gonna drop this tree down. Gonna limb up a bunch of this, and then we're gonna start making a burn pile. Okay, so we got a bit of a hole, and yeah, filling that up with whatever type of tree this is. I haven't been able to figure that out. maybe a beech, maybe not. I think it's black walnut, otherwise I'd be a little bit more excited. I got a big stump over there, or the big log section over there, just in case we find out it's worth $1 million, but I kind of highly doubt it. Next on the agenda is to get rid of this stump. So it's probably about almost 2 feet wide. Yeah, and then we'll dig up the stump, get rid of some of the rocks, and then we'll start making this track here. And we've got the burn pile going here as well. So as this burning, I'll fix up this driveway here, and then I can go collect all the brush from that side and bring it over to the burning inferno. Anyway, that is the plan. We will see if it can be executed. Alright, so I got a somewhat abandoned ship on the stump. I've got her taken down quite a bit. It's a bit bright there, but yeah, by the time grade comes back up, might be able to cover that up, but otherwise it's hopefully not going to take out any axles or anything like that, and it'll just rot away. I would like to know what kind of wood it is. It does have some really nice darker colors, so I'm going to pull this big one out and kind of place it over there as well. I don't want to get rid of it as of yet, just in case it's something that could be milled out to something nice, but client's not too worried about it. They don't really care where it goes. It can go into the burn pile or wherever. So anyway, plug away here. Okay, so this section I have down here basically goes off to a bunch of rocks, and things that are really killing his axles and such. So I'm not sure how we're gonna manage this yet with the amount of fill that we have here. We're not bringing in any extra aggregate, so I've been pulling out these boulders out of this section here. So I may end up having this part of the driveway as one level and going off down there, and then maybe flying off across the burn pile right there, and then coming across here based on what we have here. But that's yet to be determined. So we're going to just pick some rocks out and figure out what we have for dirt and fill, and then start trying to grade everything from there. Alright, it is just gone noon, and this is what we got going on now. Burn pile burning away. We dug up some bigger rocks through this area, and then we took some of these. This one here I couldn't move this one here, so that one's got to stay. So we may just kind of move the driveway a little bit away from that area, just so that it doesn't take off rocker panels and such. So then went down this way down here and removed some bigger rocks out of the way. Tried to build up some area there, but there's no real dirt, it's just topsoil, and as soon as it rains it'll just turn to muck. So abandoned ship there, and just worked on this little section of trail right here. Flattened out this area, cleaned it up a little bit. Obviously could have used a little bit more. Probably gotta flatten it down a little bit later, but just continued along here and built or cleared an area down to the pond here. So I got rid of the spruce. And there's some deadfall along here. I just cleaned that up and moved it over to the side over there. But yeah, a nice view of the pond now from down here. The customer can get his boat in here if he wants to. Yeah, so I'll come back over here at a later point and clean this up a little bit more. But we're gonna start getting some of this area cleaned out here while we got the fire going, and get rid of a lot of the brush that's back and behind there. So that is it for now. Break time for a little bit of lunch, and then back at her. Okay, so we're continuing on. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock now. In a different section here of the property. We've basically dug or cleared the driveway coming around there, and then he wants it to basically meet up with that road down there. So it's pretty thick here, but I just kind of want to do a walkthrough kind of before and afterwards. So he's gone and cut down the majority of this, and I just have to collect it up and take it to the fire. But you can see it's pretty thick all the way down. So yeah, and it's a long walk all the way back. We're gonna take down this tree here down as well. It's that side of it is pretty dead. But yeah, anyway, so I've been taking all the brush back to the burn pile, but this here I might just shove off to the side somewhere just for the sake of time. It's gonna be tomorrow soon, and then I gotta go. Alright, this thing's focused on my face properly, but anyway, okay, we'll continue. Alright, so I'm calling it the end of day one. Day 1.5, because we had that when I brought the machine up. Did quite a bit of work, but anyway, got a fire going on. This bad boy's been going all day, so that's burning up all the trees that we're bringing down, or most of them anyway. But pretty productive day. We will show you in the morning. I'll take a little walk about and show you what we got done. But yeah, alright, good night. Good morning, officially day 3. Yeah, Sunday morning, about 7 o'clock. That's why I'm whispering, because that's what I like to do, is whisper in the morning. Anyway, burn pile is no longer a pile. looking good, burned throughout the night. Today's agenda is to get in behind the mini cabin here. We're already been behind the back way there, but I'm gonna clear up some of this stuff here and make a, just gonna grade this back, not necessarily make a trail, but just make it accessible. Move these boulders off into the distance. And this is kind of yesterday's main work area. We cleared out all this brush and I still got some more piles to take care of there, but that'll probably be for next weekend. I don't think we're going to do a big burn today just because it's Sunday. We have to head back this afternoon and that wouldn't be safe. So try and compare this to yesterday's video of the old walkthrough, but you're actually able to walk down here now and drive a car as well. But we cleared everything out, tried to even out the grade here a bit, and it is a little bit steep, but not really much else we can do given the material that we have on hand. And I just pushed all the brush back for a later date. It was just too much. So we'll just, in customer over, I just cut it up over the years and burn it. If we got time next weekend, we can do another burn. Well, we'll definitely do another burn, but just to walk the machine all the way back here and walk it up front again is quite time consuming. But anyway, and this meets out with the other trail that the customers got down here. So he's quite happy so far with the progress, as am I. Spent about 12 hours in the machine yesterday, not including lunch, I guess. So let's just say 10 real working hours, let's just say that, of the machine actually running and working. So I finished my coffee. What the heck is this thing doing? I'm gonna finish my coffee and then grease up the machine and get at her for another day of excitement. Okay, next part of the project, well, I guess the first little finished area here, not finished, but we've moved all those rocks and basically just created a path along here that the customer can bring his snowmobiles in the winter. Wants to build basically kind of like a lean-to portion here and park his snowmobiles here in the winter. And I found out this morning that his idea for here, basically there's another hunting cabin or another hunting area down there, so he wants to put a sea can here anyway, so he just figured that this is a good spot for the sea can, because then if there's any chance of any stray bullets coming up here, it's going to hit the sea can and not the cabin, which there shouldn't be and wouldn't be or ever be, but you know, just on the odd chance that there is, you know, might as well hit the sea can first before it hits the cabin. Looks like there was an old skidder trail through here, so we don't want to block that area up, but we need an area to put all of this brush for now, because the burn pile is just kind of smoldering away, and that's the way we want it, because we're going to be leaving later on this afternoon, and we don't want to create any more fire this week. So yeah, let's try and clean up this area here, and we won't be prepping for a sea can, but we'll keep that in mind as to how we want things to look.
Power, realize your power, finding out myself, finding out myself. Power, realize your power, finding out myself, finding out myself. Go where you wanna go, do what you're gonna do what you wanna do, go where you wanna go. Get on with it, come on, get on with it, come on, get on with it, come on, get on with it. This what I say, what I say. Listen what I say, listen what I say, listen what I say, what I say. Get on with it, come on, get on with it. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right, live it up, dance all night. I go left, you go right.
So this is what we got. A cleared out area. Good enough for now. When the customer decides where he wants the sea can, we just spoke about it, we can make it a little bit more level, but he's not overly concerned. Yeah, we'll get rid of this pile next weekend. Take it over to the burn pile over there. Got another pile over there, just beyond the Mini X, and we'll cart that up there next weekend as well. And I think the next plan for attack for today is have a little bit of lunch, and then down on this road that's just down there, there's a couple of big huge rocks that need to come up, so we'll do some of that next, and then probably call it a wrap for a Sunday. Okay, for this section here, customer has a lot of rocks on the main trail that are basically hitting up underneath his vehicles and stuff like that. Pretty bouncy. It's kind of hard to tell from camera angle, but let's just see here. Kind of see what I'm talking about anyway. There's a bunch of them. We're going to see what's exactly bedrock and what we can actually move. Here we go. Okay, so that's that. It effectively looks like I've done nothing at all. But in fact, we've got that guy out of the road. I packed some of the rocks back in, but then I decided that these ones are too big to pack back in, and I would just take the grade down. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more in there. And I back dragged it. Gonna wait a rainfall or two, and then it'll all settle back in, and then I'll try and pull some dirt from other places. There's another one right there, another one right there, and then the piece de resistance. I have to add a little bit of artwork. We've got a stone snowman or a really bad Inukshuk. So that is that. Gonna go put the machine away, but first I'm probably gonna break down a beaver pond because there's work in a couple of weeks to do at the front of the property. But we want to see how the beaver dam is going to take to not being full of water. Yeah. Okay, talk to you in a bit.